Hello, welcome to this video on Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 7, verse 40. Usual format, I'll read it without the text up and then with. Kushalanam cha sarveshan chandam moolam munir jagau. Tasyapi moolam satatam vipaka bhala bhavana. I'll give you the text. Here we are. Kushalanam cha sarveshan chandam moolam munirjagau. Tasyapi moolam satatam vipaka bhala bhavana. So Muni, the sage, meaning the Buddha. Here we have the Muni. It would be the letter I with visarga for the nominative. This isn't the nominative here, but it's followed by, it's an I visarga followed by a voiced consonant, so it becomes munir jagau. Gau, jagau, the root is gai, to sing. This is a reduplicated perfect. You find the same kind of thing in Latin, as you know Latin, currere and cucurri, I ran, and so on. This is just one of the forms of forming the past in Sanskrit. But it says reduplicated. Why is it not gagau? Well, a g always reduplicates with a j, and a g always reduplicates with a ch. For example, from kri, to do, that makes its reduplicated perfect in not kakara, but chakara. I'll just call up my iPad for this. Where are we? There we are. So, root, gai, reduplicated perfect, jagau, root kri, reduplicated perfect, chakara. And don't worry about the I becoming au and the r becoming ara. There are rules about that, but beyond the scope of this little video, but we'll be coming to in detail in due course in the grammar lessons. So Munir Jagau, the sage, has sung. It probably reflects the fact that in very ancient times these these sayings were chanted. You talk about Homer, for example, singing the Odyssey, because that was how they were originally composed, kind of incantatory verse. So Munir Jagau, the sage, has sung. Chandam has sung. We'd say the sage has sung that chanda, a desire, namely a wholesome desire, is the moolam, the root of sarveshan kusalanam, of all good things, all skillful things. This, in English, you say that A is B. In Sanskrit, you can simply, he said A, B. A, B, he said, meaning he said that A is B. In the notes I've given, and the footnotes I've given an equivalent. We deem you worthy. We deem that you are worthy. In English, we can say, we deem you worthy. I think it fit. The sage has sung desire, the root In other words, the sage has declared that desire is the root. The root of what? Sarveshang kushalanam, of all kushala, of all skillful things. And I've done a fairly lengthy note, you'll see at the bottom here, under the analysis of the text. Let me, full page. Down here I've got a fairly full note on kushala. Very frequently found, of course, in Pali as well, in the form kusala. And we have in Pali the kusala upaya, that's the kusala upaya, skillful means. So kushala, Pali kusala, anything good or skillful, normally in a moral sense. Not always, but normally in a moral sense. In the Metta Sutta, we've got Atta Kusalena, Karaniyam Atta Kusalena. In Sanskrit, it would be Karaniyam Artha Kushalena. Here it refers to a skillful person, one who is skilled, kushala, in the artha, in the goal. So, sarvesham, it is, yes, sarva, plural, sarvesham. It's not a sarvanam, within most nouns and adjectives and make their genitive plural anam. It's esham, because this is the pronominal declension that follows, like of them is tesham, of them feminine is tasam. So sarvesham kushalanam mulam, the root of all skillful things, skillful deeds, skillful states. And translation here says skillful deeds, anything skillful, including skillful states, mental states. So Munir Jagau, the sage, has sung Chandam, desire, this wholesome desire, and we have to insert as being the mulam, the root, sarvesham cha sarvesham, sorry, kushalanam cha sarvesham, of all wholesome things, states. Tasya apimulam, with santi tasya apimulam. So Chandam is the root of skillful states. The second line, and what is the root of that root? Tasyapi, and of that, the root. Tasyapi, meaning chandasya mulam, of chanda, the root is what? Bhavana, meditating upon, vipaka pala. Vipaka, ripening, as in the ripening of karma, pala, fruit, the ripening of the fruit, or so it's rather like the what comes from the fruit, the result of the vipaka. So meditating on the result of the vipaka, of the ripening. So in other words, you do a certain act, and the way to keep yourself on the straight and narrow, on the virtuous path, is to meditate, when you are contemplating an act, on what is going to be the result, the karmic result of that act. So it's that meditation on the vipaka pala, the result of the ripening, which is of itself the mulam, the root of the chanda, which is the root, it's the meditation which is the root of the chanda. So the chanda is the root of all good things, but the root of the chanda is the meditation on what happens if you don't have that chanda. Satatam is it's an adjective, but here it's used as it's in the neuter, and it's used as an adverb meaning constantly. It's from the root tan, actually, meaning to. Sorry, I forgot to call up my screen. Sorry. Now now I need to give you my iPad. Sorry about that. I haven't actually written much on it. Done. There we are. Done. What am I doing? Camera and screen. There we are. Now you got it. There we are. Oops. Done. Meaning to stretch. We have tantra, like a stretching tool, which is a loom. That's the meaning of it. So to stretch, and we have it in English as a tent, simply, which a tent is cloth that's stretched out to make a cover against the elements. Actually, our word thin also comes from it, because if something is kind of pulled and pulled, it gets thinner and thinner as you stretch it. And it makes its past participle not in tanta but tata. Tata. And if something is satata, it's kind of all stretched out. And it's just the way of saying, it's an idiomatic way of saying constantly. So, tasyapi moolam, of that, I mean of the chanda, the moolam, the root is, or that which will bring it into being, is the what? Satatam, constantly, vipaka bhavana, the ripening fruit meditation. That's the meditation on the result of the ripening of the karma. So I will now read this again with the text and finally without the text. Kushalanam cha sarveshan chandam moolam munirjagau. Tasyapi moolam satatam vipaka bhavana. And finally, once more. Kushalanam cha sarveshan chandam moolam munirjagau. Tasyapi moolam satatam vipaka bhavana. And that's it for verse 40.